Hi, my name is Sylvie. I am a certified health coach and fitness trainer. Not too long ago, in December, I created a video to talk about the three main tips that I recommend women over 40 try if they're struggling to lose weight. I didn't write a blog post back then on the topic, and the video is actually shorter than my typical videos. So what I'm doing today is, again, I'm going to go over the main three tips that I have for women over 40 who want to lose weight, but I'm also going to add some more information to the video. We'll also address hormonal health, and I'm going to touch a little bit on what to do if it's not working, what you can try. This way you'll be prepared and you can keep that in mind if you find that you're not getting the results that you're looking for. So let's get started. I'm going with my main three tips to lose weight after 40. We're gonna go over those pretty quickly, but the first tip that I have is to start with a 5-day modified fast. And the purpose of a 5-day modified fast is to kind of trick your body into thinking that you're fasting, and so you'll benefit from the amazing healing power of a prolonged fast while still getting some food and nutrients into your body during that time. And a 5-day modified fast is pretty strict. You need to severely restrict your calorie intake to about 40% your regular calorie intake. You need to follow a specific macronutrient ratio, and also your diet needs to be completely plant-based during the 5-day period. I have tons of meal plans on my website to help you with that, and there's a link in my blog post. You can look it up. I also have a private Facebook group that has another meal plan. It's a group of us that have done a modified fast together. And this way, if you join it, you can get the additional support. That's something else you can consider doing. And as far as how often you should do a modified fast, I recommend you do it twice. Do it 1 month, and then a month later, do it again. And you should really notice a difference. You should notice a difference as far as your food cravings go. You'll most likely notice that your food cravings are decreasing, and in your energy level. Also, myself and other women that I've spoken to notice a decrease in belly fat. Next, what I recommend is that you start experimenting with intermittent fasting. I typically recommend a 20-hour fast. You need to fast long enough to get in ketosis on your fasting days, but you do not want to fast too long and make it really difficult to get all the nutrients that your body needs. If you're gonna fast longer than 20 hours, I'm not gonna keep you from doing that, particularly if you're using a keto monitor and you find that it takes you longer to get into that fat burning mode. Then definitely fast longer. Maybe you can fast for 24 hours, but do it less frequently. So I would recommend that if you're gonna fast for 24 hours, maybe do it only twice a week. And the third tip that I recommend is exercise. That is probably the most basic weight loss advice, but there's just a few things I want to emphasize as far as exercise goes. I don't want you to kill yourself at the gym. I don't want you to go and do hours of cardio. What you should be focusing on is increasing your muscle mass. Maybe some strength training is great. I love body weight training, and that's another option. And all you need to do is half an hour a day. You don't need to overtrain. So these are my tips. Now, how do you ensure that you maintain a healthy hormonal function? That really can be an issue for women over 40. That can also be why it's so hard to lose weight after the age of 40. Not only your muscle mass is decreasing, a lot of women tend to be less active after the age of 40, but also lower estradiol levels will cause you to store fat. Now, all your hormones are interrelated, and nothing works alone. Everything has a domino effect, and one hormone that's super important is insulin. And as you get older, you tend to be more insulin resistant, and that's a huge problem because it increases your food cravings. It makes it harder to understand your own appetite cues, and it makes your body store fat. But another hormone that is commonly mentioned when we talk about maintaining an optimal hormonal health is cortisol. I don't think there's one health expert talking about hormonal health that doesn't mention cortisol. And that's understandable. I mean, cortisol is super important. We hear a lot about the risks of having too much cortisol and how to avoid having too much cortisol. And for that reason, I know that myself, I didn't really realize how important cortisol is and how beneficial it is. I don't know if you're aware that cortisol helps your body burn fat. It also helps reduce inflammation and regulate your blood sugar. We're not trying to avoid cortisol here. No, we want to make sure that your hormones are balanced. That is what we want to do. And obviously there's no magic formula. And most of us are not doing any expensive lab tests or not really tracking our hormones. So really we're just going to stick to some basic things you can do to make sure that your body's not producing too much cortisol, but yet you are putting your body a little bit under stress to gain some of those benefits that cortisol provides. Here's how you're gonna try to achieve that. You're not going to be fasting every day. You're gonna try to ensure that you get proper sleep. You're gonna favor gentle forms of exercise and not exercise too long or too much. You're gonna consume nutrient-dense foods. Sit down for your meals, enjoy your meals, chew your food well. Make sure you schedule some days for rest and also select proper supplements. I mean, that's a whole different topic on its own. But yes, proper supplementation can definitely help your body function optimally. Now, if you feel like you're not losing weight, it's not working, you've done everything that I talk about in this video and you're not getting the results that you were hoping for, what could the problem be? First thing I would look into is checking if you are achieving optimal ketosis for weight loss. So if you're using intermittent fasting as a tool to lose weight, particularly if you're not doing a low carb or keto diet, which was the case for me, it's not a guarantee that your body will switch into that fat burning mode every day that you fast, but this is really what you're trying to do. You could buy a ketone monitor, and I have a link in the description if you want to look at a specific kind of ketone monitor. Get a ketone monitor and make sure that you get into that optimal fat burning zone for at least 2 or 3 hours on your fasting days. Another thing that I would look into is to ensure that you're not putting too much stress on your body, like we talked about already. All the tips I gave you to ensure proper hormonal health, well, work on those and make sure that your body is not under too much stress. Ask yourself some questions. Are you putting too much pressure on yourself to achieve your weight loss goal? Are you fasting too much? Maybe you're doing low carb and fasting and you're doing it every day, or you're not sleeping well, or you're experiencing tons of stress at work. Like, there's various things that you can try to look into. And the last thing that I want to mention that you should consider if you're struggling to lose weight is your expectations. I talk about that quite often in my videos and my blog posts, and I think it's way too common for women to have unrealistic expectations when it comes to weight loss. And I would not expect to lose more than 5 pounds a month. That is an amazing weight loss rate if that's what you are achieving. I myself lost 30 pounds, but my rate of weight loss was 2 pounds a month. And some months I was not losing any weight at all. So keep that in mind. Maybe you won't lose any weight some months. Maybe it'll be just 2 pounds a month. That doesn't mean that what you're doing isn't working. It just means that losing weight takes time and you have to be patient. You have to Give your body time and you'll get there. Have faith that you'll get there as long as you are implementing lifelong habits that you can sustain without feeling completely deprived. And that's what I love about intermittent fasting. You do not feel completely deprived all the time because during your eating window, you can enjoy the foods you love. And that is a huge plus. And on top of that, the fasting will regulate your insulin levels, which will really decrease your desire for unhealthy foods. So I recommend you give it a try. It really changed my life, and I know it has the potential to change yours as well. If you want more help and guidance, I also offer a free intermittent fasting workshop. And again, I'll leave the link in the description and you can sign up there. Thank you for watching.